Hi, you're watching EAC Insight. I'm your host, Anthony Ellis. Thanks for joining us. Today our special guest is a doctor before they become a diplomat in 1999. They can speak 4 different languages and now is the ambassador to Cambodia from India, Ms. Devyani. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
4 languages, must have been hard.
No, Indians speak a lot of languages, so it's very common for us to speak.
So Cambodia and India celebrating 70 years bilateral relationship. How important has that been over the last 70 years?
Yes, you're right. Cambodia and India are celebrating 70th anniversary of the establishment of bilateral relations. India recognized Cambodia as a country even 1 year before Cambodia gained independence from the French colonial rule. And this year, therefore, is a very important year. We are celebrating the 70th anniversary from May 2022 to May 2023. And as you're aware, Cambodia and India share a very distinct cultural and civilizational connect going back to ancient times, and therefore the 70 years is just a formal relationship. Our relationship goes back to millennia, and therefore we consider Cambodia as a very important country for us. It is our civilizational sister country and an extended neighbor, and therefore we consider it as an extended family as well. Our relationship has been not just a socio-cultural one, but an economically strong relationship as well. We are now taking the relationship forward in very niche areas like defense cooperation as well, and also in the multilateral fora and our Act East policy of India. Cambodia is a very important partner, and we look forward to deepening our relationship with this important country. As this is my mandate, I have been working hard to make sure that the celebrations were successful, and we will soon have a VVIP visit to culminate the celebrations of this relationship, details of which you will soon receive. Thank you.
And Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister David, relationship with him, the Prime Minister, will he come to visit soon? And they have a great...
Yes, the Cambodian the Cambodian leadership has a very warm relationship with our Indian leadership, and that goes back from the times of the creation of the Kingdom of Cambodia, when the late King Father, King Sihanouk, had a great relationship with our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And in modern times too, Prime Minister Samdech Hun Sen has been in continuous touch with Cambodian leadership, and we hope that Prime Minister Modi will visit Cambodia at the next opportune moment. And Prime Minister Samdech Hun Sen has already invited him last year in 2022 to pay a visit to Cambodia for an official visit. So we hope that the visit will take place soon at the right time.
Yeah, we did see some beautiful photos of the old king there with the old Prime Minister, so that must have been really special.
That's right, yeah, that was a special relationship.
Now, you've been ambassador here for 3 years now?
Almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years.
Yeah.
So you were here during COVID.
That's right.
Unfortunately, it was a horrible time everywhere around the world. Prime Minister Hun Sen, how do you think he handled the situation here in Cambodia during that time?
Yeah, you're right. I arrived during the COVID pandemic, and unfortunately our priorities at that time were to evacuate our citizens and to make sure that they were given adequate care and and prophylaxis, and there I must commend Prime Minister Hun Sen's leadership, that he not only ensured that Cambodian citizens were sufficiently inoculated, but also the foreigners and diplomats living in his country got adequate protection. And I must say that Prime Minister Samdech Hun Sen has shown stellar leadership in mitigating the COVID-19 pandemic, and as a result, Cambodians have been one of the highly inoculated populace in the region as well as in the world, and Cambodia could open its economy as early as November 2022, when November 2021, when the rest of the countries in and around the region had still not opened their economies. So I think he has done an extremely impressive. He's achieved an impressive task in managing the pandemic. And India also had the opportunity to help Cambodia in the time of need, and we could also provide Covishield India-made vaccines to Cambodia in 2022, April 2022, and as a mark of friendship between our two countries.
And during that time, that must have strengthened the relationship a little bit more by donating those vaccinations to Cambodia, so it would have made things a bit more closer.
Yes, certainly. Last year we had intense interactions once the COVID restrictions were lifted and Cambodia had opened itself. And of course, Cambodia was hosting the ASEAN summit, which it did very successfully, and we had a host of senior VVIP visits, senior leadership visiting Cambodia. Our Speaker of the Parliament visited Cambodia. That was his first ever visit. Then our Foreign Minister was here, and to attend the ASEAN summit, our Vice President had come to Cambodia in November 2022. So it was a year of intense interaction between our leaderships, and of course we were celebrating the 70th anniversary, and we had a host of events, including a photo exhibition which showcased the entire gamut of our diplomatic relations between the two countries from 1952 to present day onwards, which was very successful. And so the last year has been an extremely important year, and so was this year when Army Chief and the Deputy Commander of the Armed Forces, General Hun Manet, visited India. That also led to our defense relationships becoming deeper. So it's been a very fruitful period of interactions after COVID.
It's fantastic that the relationship was great. Speaking about economic, Indian businesses here in Cambodia, how strong is the business community here, and how big is the expat community in that?
So prior to COVID, we had a significant number between, I would say, 4,000 to 5,000 Indian expats in Cambodia. Most of them are businesses operating in the pharmaceutical sector, and many of them are also employed by several UN agencies that are active here. Post-COVID, we have around 2,000 citizens, many of whom are registered with the embassy, and the sectors that they are looking at again are pharmaceuticals, export of bovine meat, which means beef. Now India is the second largest beef exporter after Australia to Cambodia.
Wow.
And then there is also, there are investments in gold mines, Indian investments in Ratanakiri. So it is a varied mix of businesses and expats who are living here. Yeah.
So you have an Indian chambers here in Cambodia?
Yes, there is an Indian Chamber of Commerce as well, and there are also businesses which are linked with the IBC and other chambers. So it's an active community, I would say. Yeah.
Elections coming up soon, and in some places around the world, elections can be a bit of a tense time and everything else. Now, the Prime Minister will be handed over to Hun Manet later on down the track in the future. How do you think he'll go as a Prime Minister? What do you think?
Well, I think Cambodians have to decide who their leaders will be, and I'm sure that whoever they choose will definitely have adequate experience and resources to lead the country well, and I'm sure that the elections will definitely throw out some positive results. So we wish Cambodia a very successful and a peaceful outcome of the general elections in the coming months.
How safe is it here for Indians to come to Cambodia and to do business, to live and to live life or anything like that?
Indians love Cambodia, and whoever visits here goes back with a very positive image of Cambodia, and Cambodia is indeed a very safe and a very friendly country to be in. It's not without a reason that it's called the Kingdom of Wonder, and Indians especially feel very welcome and very comfortable in Cambodia, because we can see the Indian influence everywhere, in the streets, in the food, in the names, in the language. And therefore Indians they feel very, very comfortable, they feel like they're home, and they're also very well regarded and treated with a lot of affection and respect, as most Cambodians know about our ancient connect with India and consider India as their ancestral civilizational partner. So I always encourage more and more Indians should come here to set up businesses, to work, and of course to travel. So we are trying very hard to start a direct airline, direct air linkage, direct air connectivity between India and Cambodia, so that more and more tourists from India can come here, as well as the other way around.
Some of the temples have a lot of heritage from India, as in religious and everything else, and that's why it becomes special, which is leads to my next question. Previa temple, it's something special for Indians and the government and the embassy. Can you tell us a little bit what's happening there?
Right. India, has been very active in the restoration and conservation of the Angkor Wat temples ever since the fall of Khmer Rouge, and when the late King Father had made a call to the world to restore the temples. India was the first country to restore Angkor Wat at that time, from 1986 to 1993, when the Khmer Rouge was active in the country as well, and so not many international partners were ready to come. However, India was the first country, because we felt that it is our shared cultural heritage that we must help Cambodia protect. So our first project, cultural conservation project, was in the Angkor Wat in the late 80s and early 90s. After that, we started working in the Tapram temple, and we are since 2004, and we are continuing to work even now. And latest has been the India taking up the co-chair of the International Coordination Committee of the UNESCO on the Previhir temple along with China. And post-COVID, we have been able to become the first country to bilaterally come and do work on the ground on the Previhir temple, which we started last December, around last December in 2022. So far, only the National Authority of Previhir is working on the ground with the assistance of the US, financial assistance of US, but we are the first foreign country to come and work on the ground. Our team is based in Previhir, and they have started doing the excavation work, and we've started doing all the the next step is to take more steps on the conservation side of the Previhir temple. So we're very proud of that association with the Cambodian government, and we feel grateful that we have gotten the opportunity to that the Cambodian government has given us that opportunity in appreciation of all the work that we have been doing so far since the 80s in this area.
So it's a lot of work you've done with the temples.
Yes,
those 3 temples.
That's right. Not many people know about it.
No,
Yeah, because I feel that we should share this with more and more, share the story with more and more people, and I'm thankful that your channel has been the medium to let us do that.
Yes, for sure, and happy to work together and collaborate to share more experiences on what you're doing with the temples, because like you're saying, it's part of like your heritage going back such a long time.
That's right, it's our common heritage, yes, shared cultural heritage. We are also working on the Wat Raja Bo Pagoda in Siem Reap now, where there are Ramayana murals that have become old, and so we will be restoring those Ramayana murals, because Ramayana is another intangible cultural heritage link between India and Cambodia, and the Ream-Kir in Cambodia is based on the Ramayana, epic Ramayana that comes from the Indian subcontinent.
Wow, so there's a lot you're doing. So more projects hoping to do more soon?
Yeah, certainly. After this, we've already working on Sambor Priyokuk, one of the small temples in Sambor Priyokuk, which has more Indic influence than the rest of the temples. It's one of the earlier temples from the Gupta, with influences of the Gupta dynasty from India. So we are looking at restoring that temple as well.
Wow, so it must make you feel happy and proud.
Very much, very happy and proud to be in Cambodia, to be the ambassador of India to the Kingdom of Cambodia, where one can see so much of linkages with my country, and so much of my own culture and civilization. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the first year or two with COVID, you haven't been able to do
That's
as much.
right,
So
yeah.
It's
Full steam again.
Keep
That's
going.
right, to make up for the lost years of COVID. That's right.
How could you encourage fellow Indians to come and invest in Cambodia, and to, if not invest, even to come as a tourist to see part of the heritage of Cambodia?
I think for tourism, the direct air connectivity is a must, because Indians have a lot of will and resources to travel, and they would love to come to Cambodia, but they wouldn't want to spend so much time coming all the way from Bangkok or Vietnam or Singapore. So for tourism, we certainly need a direct air connectivity. For investments, we are trying our best to make the institutional arrangements that are required and that are facilitatory for businesses from both sides. So both governments are working on a bilateral investment treaty and a preferential trade agreement to begin with, and we hope that we can take it towards a free trade agreement later. Both of these things, along with physical and digital connectivity, will certainly increase the investment and trade potential between the two countries. And of course, we need to see more business to business, direct business to business connect. So we are working on creation of an India-Cambodia Business Council, and hopefully that body will then bring the two, will create the B2B interactions at the highest level between the two countries. So these are some of the measures that we are looking at currently.
And what about for Cambodians to visit India? How does it? What would you do to encourage them to come and see in India?
Well, we work a lot on tourism promotion as an embassy here, and again, as I said, if we can make those flight connectivity better, we always try to facilitate with visas, long-term visas, as much as we can give. And we are hoping that the medical, because we see a lot of Cambodians traveling now to India for medical reasons. So we are trying to facilitate that by providing more information about the medical facilities and the hospitals back home, so that many people can travel back with, many Cambodians can travel back to India with ease, and they have all the information that they require. And of course, there is the strong connection of Buddhism, and we see many tourists flying for religious tourism during the months of October to February, March. So we are trying to see that they get better facilities, they get better information. Of course, the direct flight would make all the difference.
I also see that the embassy offers a lot of yoga. I mean, you're an instructor in yoga.
Yeah.
How's that? How's yoga?
That's going very well. I think now more and more Cambodians are looking at yoga as a holistic, body of knowledge and practice for mental and physical well-being. So we see a lot of yoga enthusiasts coming to the embassy to practice yoga with us, and we get an overwhelming response when we organize the International Yoga Day on June 23rd every year. And we are very thankful also to the Cambodian government that participates in our Yoga Day and provides us with a lot of logistic support and so on to make it into a successful celebration. So I think the yoga is, it's our soft power. It's what India is recognized by, and that's one area that I'm personally interested in. So it's a joy and a pride to promote yoga and to see the positive response elicited in Cambodians.
So anyone's welcome to come?
Yes, anybody is welcome to come. Please look up on our website and you will get the details of the yoga classes that we conduct. We are also planning to conduct yoga classes now by the riverside in the Olympic Stadium as well, so that many more people can benefit, because some people are reluctant to come to embassies, but they feel more free.
I think they feel a bit scared and not sure
That's
what to
right.
expect.
Yeah.
We felt quite welcome when we come to the embassy. Some embassies are quite
Right.
scared.
Yeah.
We go.
So we're hoping to restart our public outreach, that was stopped during COVID. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming over, and really appreciate that your channel is trying to bring more of Cambodia to the expat community and the English-speaking community over here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and good luck.
Thanks.
So we have the ambassador to Cambodia from India. Just give us a bit of a rundown on the relationship that Cambodia and India have. You see that they did some restoration on Angkor Wat, Ta Prohm, and they are doing on Plerier, also on a Wat in Siem Reap. They've got community here quite large, including with businesses, yoga doing in the embassy, and hopefully later on at the stadium and where everyone is welcome. So we can see where the wide relations is strengthening and getting better. You're watching EAC News. I'm Devyani. Thanks for watching. See you soon.